I have Graham Mingus with me, and of course you're celebrating this first thing, so we might get a little interruption, and we might have to cut it if it's not working right. But we're still there. We'll be right back. But anyway, hey Grant, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, I was reading a little bit about your bio and different things, and it's funny how in life we are able to change.
Right.
And you were brought up in, I call it kind of, not the other side of life, but the unfortunate side of life of not really knowing what life really is, and sort of, I'm not saying it's the underground, I'm not saying it's the gangs, but I'm saying it's the wrong side of the track.
Right.
And that's where you were brought up on.
Exactly.
And you have decided to kind of twist that and change it around.
Yes, God's will.
God's will?
Yes, God's will.
See, God has, he's always in there, God, somewhere.
Yeah, always God's first. But you know, we were lost and then we were found, but at the same time, everything is a growing experience.
Yes.
And we have to go through these things and understand what trials and tribulations are. But some people do tend to just stay lost in the system. But I did have family that, you know, gave me the support to say there's room to change. But there were some elements where I did get locked up for a little minute, and then.
Well, when you say a little minute, we don't literally mean a little minute. How long were you?
Oh, it's just a year.
Just a year. A year is far too long to me.
Yeah, that was far too long for me.
Yes.
Believe me.
Yes.
And but at that time, it gave me some time to think, and then that's when I started to rearrange my life. And then
was that also the time you started to get into God and reading the Bible and starting understanding that there is a path? It's not a religious path. It's not. It's just an understanding path of life.
Life and love.
Of how to help other people and how to, you know, I don't think most people understand that we are actually responsible for this body that we walk around in.
Right.
I mean, whatever comes out from us is going to come back to us.
Right. And they could call it
and that's
karma,
what you did.
Or they can call it lessons learned, you know. But I understood that when you're growing up and you see certain people make the decisions and the choices they made, and the outcome of that, you have to say is it good or bad. And if for most of it was bad, you can see yourself almost on that highway. So
because you're the one you're the one that is creating it, whether it's good or bad. Because we, you know, I have the triangle. I don't know if you know what the triangle is. My triangle is what's in here. This is what we have. What you present out there is what you verbally say, and what you do is going to be your destination. So if you remember that triangle, because that's all it really is, and you're responsible, and as much as we don't like to blame ourselves, but we are responsible for whatever comes out of this body or whatever we do, that's going to be your life.
Yes, it is. And it's a message that, it's an inner spirit to me. You have to listen to the slight whisper that makes you want to do things. Well, you know, if you want to jaywalk, or you say, I cross the street, but you know you're supposed to use the light, but you still made that decision to just cross the street. But was it right or was it wrong? You know, we do these things, but common sense and wisdom, I'm just trying to practice that and be obedient as much as I can.
As much as you can.
Yes.
Now, since you have taken this other road, what difference have you seen in your life?
I am well more open with people now. Back in my time, I didn't like cameras and all this pictures
crazy stuff
and
that we have.
you know, and then even like ourselves having a nice conversation and, you know, chopping it up and things like that.
And what is real life? Because you're a real person.
Because I was I was closed, you know, and so when people would come up to me, it wasn't much to say and things like that. So you know,
I'm thinking the reason you didn't have much to say was probably you were a little bit ashamed of what you wanted to say. Maybe
possibly.
you didn't.
And that's real truth.
Yeah,
and that's real truth.
That's
Just like
truth.
my family, you know, you don't want to shame certain people in your family.
No, so say nothing.
When they see some things or hear you, I used to have A's. I was an all A student. I did very well in school. I should have played NFL football in college, but then other things in the society of growing up pulls you down.
And I guarantee what pulls it apart, and this is the unfortunate side, is money. Because you look at it and say, well, I'm not going to earn this amount of money here, and I've got to study, I've got to learn, I've got to do all this stuff, whereas I can make the quick buck over here.
Right. Everybody wants it now.
They want it. They want the quick buck, and that's sort of, you know.
But God taught me patience, and now I can wait for the things, and the glory of the good things are to come. So now, you know, since all these things that I've learned in my life, and focus on what He wants me to do and to being obedient, I know that He's called me to take the, you know, the music industry to a different level with artists out here that's in the industry.
So how are you doing that? Taking the music industry, because you know Vegas is the music industry of the
entertainment capital of the world, Vegas, boy.
There you go. So how are you helping them out there? Because we help them by coming on our show, like having you on our show, getting the word out that Grant is ready to help you out there. Who any musician out there, he will help you.
Yes, I will try to do my best as far as our history. I've been doing it for 20 years, what you said, underground. And then at the same time, we have an artist development program where we give the artists a proper opportunity to build their exposure and their craft and take their skill sets very seriously. There's a business behind that, and they're trying to brand themselves, but then they're looking for so many things without knowing the business side of it. So I have a program that does offer them the opportunity to learn the structure of it, and with the family of, you know, unity and the people that we connect with, we all help each other.
You help each other, and I think that's he said the main thing out there is helping each other. Yeah. As I always say, nothing happens without you. That's one of my very famous quotes that I put out there. Nothing happens. I mean, I can't have a cup of coffee without somebody else making it or doing it. I mean, somebody had to make the cup. Somebody had to make everything, so you can do nothing, absolutely nothing on your own. You think you can, but you can't.
I had this lady that came up to me one point in time in life, and I was working, and she said, "We are all angels with one broken wing. We can only fly when we embrace each other."
Yes.
And I found that such to be a wonderful, beautiful thing to say to me at my day at work, because at time I really didn't understand what friendship was, or the unity that we used to have and how it's been breaking apart. But we need each other. We need to help out and hold hands. And
hold hands like and trust them. Trust them and truth. It's two of the greatest things.
Too many hands out and not many hands in.
That's absolutely true. What's been your greatest moment of pulling yourself through all this? What is the greatest thing you feel that you achieved to make you who you are now?
Well, I would say that when I pursue certain things, and then when God gives you a message to go to that direction, and then it's already there for you without you even having too much pressure about it, that's what I feel like. I have no fear.
You have no fear.
I have no fear. Yes, there's no fear. You used to walk out the house where you had a problem with if I was going to make it home, like you was explaining before, you know.
Which side of the track are you? Now you know which side of the track you're on.
Now, exactly. I know that I'm on the right avenue, the right boulevard, and on the right path, so I have no fear to look over shoulders or...
I think there's one thing that a lot of people don't understand out there is, how do you recognize the word that you're spoken to do the right thing or the wrong thing? How do you recognize that within your body? How does someone say, "Oh wow, I had a little message"? How do they feel that message? How do they get that message?
Well, it's the boldness that we have to understand, for one, what the message was for you.
Yes.
And then as a delivery, it's like the Lord said, "I send you out into the world," but He sent them out with a message.
Yes.
But that He said you have to have no fear here. So we have to say, and then when things occur and when we have problems, we're bold enough to tell you what you need to hear.
What you need to hear to get you out there, to understand.
Not the things that they tell you, they put you and keep you in that place, but the real information that you need to hear.
That you keep locking away because you're actually probably afraid to get that. Nick, I noticed you have a question out there. What's the question?
Yes, they want to know how they get a hold of you and if you're available for mentoring.
Mentoring. Yeah, I charge $100 a minute. No, I'm just playing. No, we good. Yes, you can get a hold of me on Who Got Chops at what's that? Who Got Chops Show at Gmail. That's WHOGOTCHOPSSHOW@gmail.com. Will be a quick response to get back. You can also look me up on Grand Baron Mingus on Facebook. That's a BARRON in the middle, the GRANNMINGUS. It has a nice little logo with a Q. I keep my face off the media as much as possible, so, but y'all welcome to see me here. And
I understand you have a radio show, don't you?
Yeah, Vegas Raw Radio. We are on the network of WBKE Media. It's a beautiful family, and we are right on Q Radio. And Q means QUE, not the CUE, and it's quality upcoming entertainment. So we deal with quality upcoming entertainers. If you feel yourself that way and you consider yourself A, maybe not A+, talk to Grand Mingus. We can chop it up.
You can chop it up and you can help them.
Yeah.
So did were you ever in music or sing or anything like that? You were?
Yes, I was an artist back in the day. I used to perform in a lot of different places from Los Angeles, and associated with a lot of different artists up and coming, and we had the pleasure of saying that we loved the craft and it was a different form of business.
Yes.
And now artists is getting paid so much from the record labels, but we just love what we're doing. I'm from LA, Leimert Park. Shout out to Leimert Park, LA, Los Angeles, West Side. But yeah, you know, all my buddies out there, we used to go to Project Blow and Hollywood Live, and we'll just rock the house.
Rock the house out there. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, so, it's love now, though.
Yeah. So now
I'm behind the scenes.
Now you're behind the scenes, helping, especially the younger generation.
Yes, I ran into a writer's block. A friend of mine committed suicide, and I wrote one song and that was my last one, and all of a sudden I wasn't able and had the ability to really write like I wanted to anymore.
Really?
So for some reason it just pathed me into a different area.
Well, maybe that's what they wanted for you. They wanted you to help these people rather than writing songs, rather than saying it in songs, to actually perform it and actually do it and actually help these people.
Yeah, but I'm gonna come back, y'all. No,
he's gonna come back. They all do. Never. You know something. When you're a singer and you're in the music business or any business in the entertainment, you always come back.
Yeah, it's that opportunity to say something, because these artists now, they inspire you.
They do.
And
they're amazing.
If there's some dreams or something that you want to do in the community or in the industry, it'll bring it back out.
Absolutely.
And I'm blessed to be there to just say, knock down that brick wall so I can do the same thing they're doing.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Gran is absolutely wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show again.
You.
And we'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.
Peace.
Awesome. Was that good?